just vibe. For my 45, don't get out of line. Yeah. Ooh, 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 pick a side. Only double lines we cross is dollar signs. Yeah. Ooh, 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 hold up, wait. I hear you just got paid, making rage energy. She more cake on heat, more central pay. Be waving the room, the crowd gon' move. Look around, everybody on mute. Look around, it's me and my group.
You was on stop mode, got phones, post on page Vogue, no post, chat too much, bro, dip on load. That's that Kodak.
Hello to the people.
From
It's-
Mexico.
We back.
From Mexico. We are back, y'all. I know y'all probably like, so did they just like fall off? Did they just say we're not doing this no more? We told y'all we had a surprise coming. Your girls planned a pod trip. We are in the Breathless Resort in Cancun, Mexico. Our
See the
first
background?
annual trip. And so we wanted to do something special to commemorate our first year of like making it through the pod.
Yeah.
And so this was our trip. And so of course we can't all be together and not do something fun and do something different.
Right.
So y'all getting a full video. Okay? Y'all get to see our beautiful faces, background of Mexico, and we're going to get into some hot topics very quickly because a lot has happened since the last time we've potted.
So
and we
much.
know, we saw all of y'all messages to us. Y'all was mad at us. Like, where are y'all at? So much is going on.
So much happening.
I'm waiting
So
on the
much
pod
is
to drop
happening.
so we can talk about this.
Yeah.
So we're just going to hit some high level
Yeah.
ideas this week.
To
and
get us
then
back.
guess what? We're back, y'all. So
Yeah.
like y'all can stay tuned. Every other week we will be dropping a new pod. We're back at it. We took a little bit of a summer break. We needed it.
Yes,
Mental
Lord.
health,
Yeah.
kid activities,
Yes, Lord.
just needed a beat. And so
Vacations, trips.
vacations, trips. We're like, you know what? Let's do something fun
Yeah.
to bring us back in. So we
Family
are here. So
obligations.
in case y'all don't remember faces to names and just remember voices, we'll go through and say who we all are. So we'll start with I am Marla. And I will tell you in relation as to like who we are to each other, right? So Mandy is my sister.
Hi.
And then Jasmine and Shay are my cousins. And so
Hello.
we started
Hi,
off as
y'all.
the family podcast for that reason.
Family ties.
But then
Family
we
ties.
family ties.
Family ties.
But then we realized we're talking mainly about reality TV, and we
Yeah,
need to
so what's the
specify
point?
more.
Yeah.
So just so y'all know, y'all been with us, y'all been rocking with us. Thank y'all for staying with us, and so we wanted to do something special. So now I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
You did.
Well,
You already did.
You already
that.
did.
You
Okay.
that.
Yeah, like
You
she
did that.
already did that for us.
Jasmine, Miranda / Mandy. Y'all hear me say Mandy, but her real name is Miranda.
And Shay.
Shabby Baby / Shay / Shantae. Okay, whichever one you gonna get, you
Period.
gonna get all of them. Now, as far as locations go, Mandy live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
She in the ATL. That's why we be like
ATL
Mandy in these
streets.
streets.
I be in the
Okay.
streets. For sure, I be in the streets.
I'm in Portland, Oregon. The job moved me there, but we love Portland.
love
Me and the
Portland.
family
It's
love it.
cute.
So having a good time in Portland, Oregon. Jay and Shay are both in St. Louis,
Our
Missouri.
hometown. We're all from St.
We're all
Louis.
from there.
All from St. Louis.
All straight from the loop.
So, you know,
Yeah.
we wish we could do live so y'all can like do some pics or some like text to us about what y'all want us to talk about.
Yeah.
But listen, we on a time stretch and
Yeah.
schematics, we're just gonna do it this way. But no, it's coming, y'all. We
Yeah.
are gonna do
Yes.
it live at some point.
Yeah.
So y'all can in real time give us some hot topics.
For sure.
Yes.
So now we're gonna kick it off. So we're gonna start off with Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Since the last time we've potted, there has been a lot
So
circling
much.
Yeah.
around the Sweet 16 season for Real Housewives. So
Yes.
we were still potting when we found out Portia
Yeah.
was
coming
signed back
back.
on.
Yeah.
We were still potting when we also found out
She
she
leaving
let go
her
of her
man.
man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And stuff still going on
And
with
the
that.
pettiness about filming there, filming at the
Yes.
house,
All of that.
and all of
Still
that.
being petty.
He's
Yes.
Okay.
controlling her.
That's where we left
I
off.
thought we talked about Kenya.
We did not
we
talk
didn't
about
talk
Kenya.
about her.
So since then,
Okay.
the big Bravo news that everybody wants to talk about is
two pieces.
allegedly
2 pieces of it.
Kenya, during filming,
Mhm.
had a revenge porn situation against another castmate where
Yeah.
she allegedly showed this castmate on film
Nudes.
at her opening. Why should we
Which
do
is
this
so
at her
Her
dumb.
opening of her
That's the
own
dumbest thing she ever
salon.
of her own salon?
Her own
That
business.
is
But
stupid.
remember, she is known for doing childish stuff like that.
True.
I don't remember whose event it was, but she came in with the marching band.
Oh, Marlo, hair care.
Yes.
When Marlo
Kim
had her wig
Moore
launch.
hair care.
Yeah. So
So-
she's been doing this. And, like, I thought her salon had been open because I get my waxes over there. So I've seen it be built and I've seen people go in and out. But when the reports came out, and not just reports, like an audio leaked of
Yes.
her talking about this girl, like, in this manner of, like, oh, she used to be an escort and things like that. And then I did my research, and Britt definitely was like a video vixen type
Interesting.
girl back in the day. So I'm pretty sure she
But,
was an
I
escort at
mean-
some point, allegedly.
Allegedly. But
But-
Kenya was the same type.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Does it take one to know one?
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Exactly. Same type of girl. So I was so confused. For me, this is how you want to open your business to the world.
Right.
Right, because it makes you
Yeah.
look bad. And that's when I'm just like, I'm trying to understand something. Like, okay, so for our listeners, this is not new. Y'all
No.
heard about Kenya. Y'all heard about
She been
allegedly.
pulling stunts.
And we're going to
She
say
been pulling
alleged
forever.
because apparently Bravo has yet to confirm the story, but
Yeah.
all the
not
outlets
going to.
took
They're
the
not going
story
to.
and they
Never.
ran
Make
with
them look
it.
bad.
So
Yeah.
we don't really know what's true, what's not. All we know is that Kenya is not filming.
Yeah.
She will not be filming for the Sweet 16
Yeah.
season. And
Well,
I
she
don't
filmed
know.
half. She filmed half.
But are they going to show it?
They don't know.
And that's the thing.
But I feel like it would be hard for them to
Just cut all
cut
of
it
that
all
out.
of that off.
Yeah.
They had been filming for a minute at that point, and the newbies were introduced and stuff like that. So unless they're gonna go back and refilm certain like introductions and stuff, I don't see the point of
I
them
don't think
wasting
they're
that
doing
footage.
it.
That's true.
I think
I
they'll
don't
show all
know.
the way up until, and then they'll do some kind of like black
You
screen.
know how they do it, yeah.
with
They
some
started
kind
off
of
at the worst
verbiage.
part and then do a rewind and then do a fast
Then a
forward.
fast forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it'll say
Yeah.
something like Bravo doesn't
Condone bullying,
Right.
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just all right.
But
let's-
they do.
But let's talk
But
about
they
it.
do.
So
But they
there's
do.
multiple pieces to talk about this stuff
Yeah.
with Kenya because we just sat here and watched Scandival, which is
Baby.
what, right?
Yeah, cheating,
And-
revenge porn, all the
And so
above.
the thing with Scandival, and y'all been hearing us talk about it, is
Yeah.
Tom Sandoval and Ariana are allegedly going through right now
a lawsuit.
a lawsuit because he is saying that Ariana took the video of Rachel, and she shared it with her friends.
Yeah.
So Raquel
They
is
were
saying
still
that.
able to film.
Raquel is saying that, not
Oh yeah,
Tom.
Raquel, my
Tom.
bad.
Yeah.
They were still able to film. All three of them. All three
Well,
of them.
I have another one. Y'all don't.
They're still filming.
Y'all don't watch Southern Charm.
No.
I watch
But
Southern Charm.
on Southern, yeah, me and Shay do. On Southern Charm, one of the executive producers / cast member of the show, Whitney, showed nudes of another
The
cast
cast
member to the whole cast, and they confronted her about it and everything. He showed the nudes on
Yeah,
camera.
they confronted
as
her.
well. They confronted her, not him,
Not him.
So let's talk
So-
about it. We're not saying what Kenya did was right.
at all.
At all.
'Cause I
But
don't like her. and
why
his
does
guts
it
nice.
feel like, and this is what Nene was saying, like the black women
Yeah.
have a different standard.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm not, again, we do not condone.
yeah.
If Kenya did this, that is one of the most
terrible thing she
Terrible.
could have done.
horrible human
Yeah.
being.
Agreed.
But should she have been fired? We want to hear from y'all, man. Like, I want to hear like y'all perspective on if are y'all gonna be watching Atlanta now that Kenya is out?
Oh,
like,
I am.
there's
yeah,
a
I
lot of new.
Absolutely.
Hold on, hear me
I will.
out.
I still
There's a
will.
lot of Kenya stands, and
And
they're like,
Just
she
like
has.
Teresa, people saying they won't watch, they will.
They
But
will.
listen, she has
just
been
the hate.
carrying out of all the other ladies, like the OGs.
I
like she's
disagree.
the only
I
OG.
have a different opinion of that.
Okay.
And
trash.
somebody put this on Twitter, and it makes so much sense. They're like, Kenya hasn't left a season of The Housewives since Nene and everybody left, and the show went down. So how all of a sudden is she this saving grace? She's been on the show when
That's
it was in
a
its
good
flop
point.
era.
That's very
So
That's a
it's
good
not like she's
point.
saving anything. Portia coming back for sure is
Portia.
is a thing that could save it.
And
now we're
also-
getting into the breaking news now.
Now.
That Phaedra Parks, I don't know if you
Freaking-
guys know,
freaking
freaking
Frack.
Frack is back.
Freaking
Um,
frack.
That's insane.
But I knew it was happening. They did
they
a
needed
soft
something.
launch.
They needed something.
So during Andy's 15th anniversary of Watch What Happens Live,
Yep.
Portia and Phaedra was front row. They were right next to Andy on his 15th anniversary special. And I'm like, they're definitely soft launching.
Here we go.
They're
But
testing
see,
the
I
crowd.
think Married to Medicine was a soft launch for her because
Traders was a soft launch.
Like,
I mean, we could keep going. Like,
yeah,
her
like,
being on
They was
Dubai.
testing
Like,
her out to
they've
see
been
how did the crowd still feel about her.
But it was
what
more
was
than
the
a
other one she
test.
was on?
She was on 2
Girls
seasons
Trip.
of Girls
Girls
Trip. She was
Trip,
on
yeah.
2 seasons. Like,
Because she got high ratings.
Right. It's been more. And then Traders, she really took off because then she got
did.
white people support.
Yeah, she
Because
did.
white people was white. They were like, who is this girl?
Yeah, we
that's
love us
going
some
crazy?
Phaedra who's
So,
reading because she's known for her reads.
reading, and she read Dan, and she I liked her on Traders, you know.
Yeah.
But I did not like her on Married to Medicine.
So let's talk about
Very
Married to
true.
Medicine for a minute because they're also like doing some filming.
Didn't make sense. No, they're wrapped.
They're wrapped.
They're wrapped.
So Married to Medicine, Phaedra never made sense. Let's
No.
talk about it. She's
Ever.
not
It was
married
a
to
force.
medicine.
It was a force.
Meaning she didn't. The dude that made her relevant for the show, we never got to see.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay,
even know his
we
name.
talked about this.
Dr.
We don't
O.
know his name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dr. O.
And
Whatever
so
that means.
it just kind of seemed forced because I think they were expecting her to like do something completely different with the
Yeah.
show, but she didn't know where she fit, so she didn't
Yeah.
shine.
Well, no,
Bringing her back to
I
Real
think
Housewives of
more than
Atlanta
that-
is going to be
No, but
amazing.
I think the thing about Housewives is, as reality stars, they play a housewives game.
Yes.
And
Yes.
on Married to Medicine, there ain't no game. Them women are really
They
friends.
really friends, yeah.
They really travel with each other. They really
Yeah.
tell each other their deepest, darkest secrets. They really are involved in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think her trying to bring those antics, giving Quad that funeral and all that stuff that just did
It
not
didn't
hit.
land.
It did
didn't
not land
because
I
it's not
just-
Real Housewives.
I just knew. I said her days are numbered. And
Yeah.
then once Candy quit Housewives of Atlanta, I said, oh, she'll be
coming
back.
back.
She'll be back,
She'll
and
be-
here she
Yeah,
is.
and that's
And she's gonna cause some type of trouble to make it seem like they forced her hand, which is what the alleged tea is. That Dr. Heavenly being messy, we all know
That's my
how
girl,
messy
y'all.
Dr.
That's
But
my
I love
girl.
Dr. Heavenly.
That's my
Married
girl.
to Medicine wouldn't be good without Dr. Heavenly.
Right,
girl.
but her typical move to try to overproduce, she allegedly invited Apollo, Phaedra's ex-husband, and his new wife on a cash couples trip.
That's insane.
And that is insane. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry, Heavenly. Like, the show ain't that. It's not that deep to where
We're
you're
not
doing
trying to
that.
ruin
Like,
lives.
why are we
Like,
doing this?
not for
It's
TV.
it's
And you
getting
know
cringy.
Phaedra not going for
You know
that.
she's not going for that, and so that set up her
But
exit.
Heavenly wouldn't go for that.
Thank
If
you.
somebody did like that,
Thank
did something
you.
like that to her,
Thank
She'll
you.
be going through. She
Thank
would be
you.
cussing folk out.
Thank
she
you.
would be Denise
Gone.
Richards
Gone.
yelling,
Bravo,
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 bravo. Yep.
So for her,
Breaking the wall.
and how much she used to talk about how Phaedra is needed for the show, and she brings us new eyes. You bring her away,
Yeah.
Literally.
and you put her back where everybody's not gonna watch. Like, everybody's gonna watch her on her return of Housewives because it
Housewives, yeah.
fits her.
And that's what
Yeah.
everybody's been
It
waiting
fits
for.
her,
We've been
like-
asking for Phaedra for years.
We
for
have.
years, and
She's
we
been
couldn't
missing.
get her
It's
because
between
of
her
Candy.
and Nene.
Yeah,
Them the two people
we
that
couldn't
everybody like
get
bring
her
them
back because Candy said
Candy's
she
on
would
the show.
never film, and
And to be honest, I would pick Phaedra over Candy anyway. Because what is
course.
Candy bringing at
We
this point?
all would,
Nothing.
but
they
she's
couldn't
the
do
Bravo
that because
darling.
of the allegations
that
Yeah.
Phaedra gave.
They didn't wanna
Phaedra
get
was
sued.
saying.
Yeah, they didn't wanna
the
get
stuff
sued.
she was saying.
I get
was
it, Bravo.
like,
I guess.
Career
You said-
ending,
you
going
said
to
that girl was trying
prison.
to rape her.
Yeah,
You
like
said it- they were
drug
trying-
and rape,
drug
not
and
just
rape.
rape, drug
Yeah,
and
like,
rape.
that is a
Insane.
crazy accusation.
So I feel like Dr. Heavenly played her hand too hard, and now I read that because when Phaedra left, that's when they decided to make Contessa be a friend.
But I'm happy about that.
But she was filming.
I am very happy
She
to
was
see
filming,
Contessa back.
right? But that's what
She was
made her-
missing in this last
And
season.
they
to
also
us.
have a new doctor couple.
Okay.
They have a new doctor couple joining as well. That's who is. I don't know if y'all saw Purveyors of Pop. That's who does their or is it
Production.
Evolution?
I think it's Evolution.
Is it Evolution?
It used to be
Or am I-
Purveyors of Pop.
Okay. Whoever their production company, when they rap, they post behind the scene pictures from like.
Oh, yes, yes,
And
yes.
everybody was like, "Who is this new couple?" So there's a
Yeah.
new couple, and Scott and Contessa was there. I told y'all I saw Mr. Scott running around Cigar City Club.
You did say that.
I
In the streets.
told y'all. I saw that
Mandy
man.
is in the streets.
And that is where the men of Married to Medicine hang out and kick it. And I was like, something up. And Scott was running around, and here you go, they back.
I'm happy though because I feel
Contessa
like
was needed.
Contessa, although her
Contessa.
marriage was absolutely tragic
Horrible.
at one
and it
point.
still is, if you ask
Um,
me. But who am
I would say the whole point of Married to Medicine is to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and it is truly revealing what marriage really is, short term and long term. I love the span of couples that are on that show, and I do think we have some really solid couples on
Yeah.
there. Like Contessa, we needed to see.
At least they stayed married, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
you know.
you know,
they willing to
Yeah, like
turmoil.
they willing to fight
They
for their
willing to fight
marriage,
for it.
and that's why I did not like Phaedra being on the show because the show has no antics.
Yeah.
like they literally saved a marriage on a reunion.
They sure
special.
did. That is-
Two,
Two.
right?
Two.
So I'm sitting here like, we don't need these antics from
No,
this
that funeral and
housewife.
all that mess.
And
Yeah, that was
quiet. And
insane.
I'm happy. I
got
am
a
very
man?
happy she got a man. He's handsome. I want to
Very
see him.
handsome.
Very, very
Let's
handsome.
hope we get to see
They
them
said
for
that they were
Married to
filming.
Medicine.
They were filming, and he was on the couples trip. They were on the
Cannot
couples trip. I saw
wait.
them in the picture. They was
I
on the
love that
couples
for
trip.
her.
Yep. So Married to
Good.
Medicine is gonna be so good. We'll probably get it around October, November. They'll probably put them back with Potomac. Whenever
Okay.
Potomac come
I
back,
don't have to watch Potomac ever again.
well,
cool.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
returning. I'm cool.
I'm just saying
I can't watch
they're
another
gonna
episode
probably
of
put
Giselle.
them
I'm a
back
peek
with
at
Potomac.
it.
No,
I'm a peek because I just want to see if Giselle is
gonna
gonna
watch.
change.
I want to see Giselle.
Because I love Karen
She's
Hilbert.
not gonna have Robin, y'all. I need
Yeah.
to see Giselle without Robin.
Yeah.
So
And I
we,
think that's her determining if you gonna come back or not too.
Yeah, this is her test.
we
This is
gotta
your test
We
to
gotta
see,
how she
are you
gonna
gonna
play
actually get
her.
along with her?
prepare yourself.
You know she cool
for,
with Wendy
I
already.
just gonna say,
Yep.
prepare yourself for the pandering to Wendy. Prepare yourself for her and Karen being best friends
Yep.
for real
She
again.
gonna
Good.
Prepare
I need to
yourself.
see her like
Yeah.
not being so locked to being an outsider and causing all the ruckus.
But
But she had
also-
her little partner in crime.
Also,
Yeah.
the word on the street is that girl Kiana. She did so good that
like
she's
her.
a flute holder now.
Okay.
I like
That's
her,
the
though.
word
I
on the
really
street.
like her.
Okay, Kiana, we're good. We
And
can't wait.
And then Shay, I saw the new housewife that's dating one of the Chiefs players. He proposed to her recently.
So that's gonna be. It's gonna be good.
So it's gonna be.
gonna
And is
good.
Mia retired? Mia coming back?
Oh, of course, with Ink,
Yeah,
Mr.
with
Ink,
Ink.
and
Yeah.
Gordon
No,
and the
that-
kids.
she the only one that got a real
She the
story.
only one that the story
Right.
is gonna be good.
She
I
broke it.
don't.
That last episode was.
I don't
mean,
want to. Oh, speaking of, did y'all read the tea about they're doing a dating show?
Yes.
Yes, we
with
did with Giselle.
Ashley, Shannon, and Luann.
I actually
I
will
didn't
watch
know
it.
that.
I will
Yes.
watch it.
On the
I will
island.
watch it.
On the island.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the four
They-
housewives.
I
Well,
love
you
it.
said that Love Island.
Yep, I said when Peacock did Love Island,
You said that.
It was gonna be a crossover.
gonna
I
be a
knew
thing.
it.
For
I
sure.
said them seeing
You know what it
this
remind
dating
me
show.
of? What it sound like? You remember when Tamar then went on that Queen dating
All
show?
the, and look at JR
They had all the men
running her
not
through the
that,
ground.
But
We
the
gonna
fact-
get to
not
it.
that.
We gonna get to the
Yeah, but
rest
with
of
that
family
fake
values.
engagement.
Well, I'm just
And
saying the
Nivea
fact
didn't
they
get
had
no
all
man.
these 4 women Still. that go after all
I
these
agree.
men,
I
try to
liked
get
it.
them. That's what I
enjoyed,
think.
and that was on Peacock.
And it was good. And it was on Peacock.
I
Was it
enjoyed
like the
it.
Queen's Court.
Yeah.
or something like that?
Queen's
I
Court.
We'll get to Tamar later.
Yeah, we'll get to Tamar later. So
Girl.
I want to move
Yeah.
us. So that's it for Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And
Yeah.
Married to Medicine.
Clearly, it has not started yet, but stay tuned. And they also got a lot of new girls that are apparently bringing some really good energy. Do we know? Do they have a start date as to when we're going to probably get Atlanta?
Next year, most
I think it's gonna be January.
I do.
Because They're still
Jeez.
filming. They're still filming.
They're still filming. So
Yeah.
okay. So
Well, and
okay.
then remember they brought Phaedra in late.
Exactly. They're
So
gonna.
they need some footage
They're
of her.
gonna give so much more footage of her. And then when they got rid of when they got rid of Kenya, they started filming a lot with Cynthia too. So
Yeah.
like they're trying to bring this together. And I've been reading tea. Like I think it's gonna be a really good season. The friends that like teamed up against Kenya, they not cool no more. They don't
Yeah.
follow. It's a
Okay.
lot of shifting dynamics.
Atlanta
Drew
may be
and Portia
good.
was beefing for a second.
And that's
not cool,
crazy.
but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
You
it's a
hanging
lot
out
of,
with my baby daddy.
Exactly.
We can't be cool.
It's a lot of shifting dynamics. So I say y'all, this will be a Sweet 16.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And then we concluded with Married to Med. They
Yeah.
just wrapped
Can't
up.
wait.
Can't wait to
Can't
hear about
wait.
that. So now we're
Always
going to
watch
shift
quality
to,
television.
We got to talk about it, y'all. I'm going to go to New Jersey.
Oh Jesus.
So since we've been out, also a lot has been going on with what we're hearing about Jersey.
Gutter stuff.
For one,
Gutter snipe behavior.
I literally stopped. I will be honest. I
haven't
literally
watched.
stopped
I
watching
didn't
like the
watch it.
third episode
Yeah.
when
I
they
watched the
came
finale.
out
I
and
watched
said
two
that
to
they're
the
not
finale.
going to get a reunion. And I'm like, if I'm not watching for a reunion, what am I watching for?
It was a reunion.
Teresa
quote-unquote
is
special.
not speaking to Melissa. Melissa is not
Yeah.
speaking to
But
Teresa.
that's
They're
not
not
what they
filming
do.
to each
That's not
other.
good, yeah.
It's like, and so what they're doing is it's like the teams are against each other, but they're not really filming together. Then we found out there's a fight. So I did fast forward to the fight.
Oh, that fight was good.
And
I
the
enjoyed
fight
it.
was between
I'm not
Jennifer
gonna lie, I like
Aiden.
Gutter- the thing about me, I'm
Hold
never
on,
gonna
Jennifer
act like I don't
Aiden.
like gutter snipe
Let's say
behavior.
who it is.
I enjoy it.
Jennifer Aiden and
And
Danielle.
Danielle
And
Cabral.
Danielle. So I literally fast forward specifically just to the
Loved
fight.
it. Loved it.
And Jennifer Aiden
I
got
was
all
with
up in
Danielle
Danielle's
also.
face. And she pushed her. Now, if you know Jennifer, she has these antics, but she ain't about that life.
Uh-huh.
She met the wrong one. Because
In
that
the words
Danielle,
of K. Michelle, don't shake
Unless
unless you
wanna
ready to get shook. Okay, it's that simple.
Yes,
And I know them white girls don't go by that, But that girl Danielle look like she from somebody's hood.
No, she from
They
like
mob
Staten Island.
wives.
was
I don't
gonna say,
care.
Like,
She
she look
ready,
like she
she ready.
Drita Jr.
Not my wives.
They mob wives.
She giving
I
Drita
don't-
Jr. Like,
I wouldn't
Karen,
mess
every
with
time
none
I
of
see
them.
you, I'm putting my hands on you,
Yes,
Drita.
every
Like,
time.
That part.
she's giving Drita Jr.
Drita
So
was my
I
girl.
knew, but also, New Jersey just went, like we talked about this already, the
It's bad.
schemes and just, you could tell,
They
like,
were trying to tell people,
Jennifer
tear people's
Aiden
families up.
and talk bad about, they
Lies.
tried to make it seem like Danielle was stealing money from the charity event that she had, that she's a terrible person, all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, y'all not coming for just fun shade. Like, I
No.
miss fun shade on the Housewives. Like,
Yeah.
ruined
I
your
miss,
life, Shay.
They
I
ruining
miss-
lives,
right,
bruh.
like, I miss like fighting
They
over
like-
bedrooms and
ain't nobody finna work with you.
I miss fighting over bedrooms
No life.
and seeing who gets this and who gets, like, fighting over, like, oh, you called my
happened
house
to- what-
ugly.
what
like,
happened to going to the chateau?
you know what I'm saying?
We arguing
Like,
over who shopped there.
Hilarious.
it's so crazy, and that fight was very entertaining to me.
But
It
you know
was.
that
She
they didn't
got.
stop
She.
filming.
They did.
No,
Hey,
they
okay,
did.
let's talk about
no,
it.
but they did. No. They did.
They took a little
They
break.
were
Jennifer isn't
suspended- no,
filming.
they suspended both of them.
They
Okay.
didn't fire 'em.
They did not. They did a quote unquote investigation and suspended them. They were not allowed to film with each other for like 2 weeks. And then
2 weeks.
Right. And then I guess they
Suspensions
let
go longer in
Right.
school.
About
them,
fired
guess,
when
right.
she got into
and
her
I guess they
altercation.
let
Thank
them
you.
decide if they wanted to continue filming with each other, and they both decided to continue filming with each other. So then we got some other tense moments from them, but I'm team Danielle.
All day.
Jennifer
Anybody
Aiden.
that's on Teresa's team, I'm just not.
But I also feel like with Jennifer, she's the typical, like I used to say about Kenya and everybody, whoever house is not happy, they use this show as like a way to get some attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Because
let
her
their
husband
frustration-
clearly don't care.
At
to
all.
let
He
their
don't give her
frustrations
no.
out.
He don't even take her side. He be in a
He
whole
at the
nother
pool
room.
house. He's at the pool house.
Yeah, he
So-
Jennifer got a lot on her plate, but that don't mean you need to start trying to bully
But
folk
honestly,
because you unhappy.
I'm gonna keep it a book. That fight was the only important thing that happened. There was
Right.
Well, so
nothing else.
in the finale,
well,
though, we
well,
found
hold
out
on.
the truth.
We gotta talk about
Jackie.
Teresa calling Melissa a whore.
But no, before that, I want to get into how desperate
Jackie.
of a
yeah.
housewife
Okay, that's what was uncovered.
Jackie is. Oh,
Yeah.
and side note, so today, you know, that her and Jennifer Fessler have a podcast on Teddy and Tamara's network.
Okay, they have
Called-
a network.
Girl,
Where
they
the
giving
fuck?
out.
Hold on.
Let me tell y'all.
I thought it was just them.
No, let me tell. They have a whole
What? Teddy
iHeartMedia has given them basically.
They
They
must
have
have a lot
other
of
podcasts
viewers.
under them. So then you
Wow.
have.
Are you kidding
me?
Listen, I'm gonna list them out. So Alexia and Marisol from Miami.
I would actually listen to
They
that
have a
because I like
podcast
them.
called I Por Favor. That's under Teddy and Tamara.
Okay.
Then you have Jennifer Fessler and what's her name? Jackie. It's called Two Jersey Jays. They have a podcast.
cute name, though.
Yeah, it is cute. Two Jersey Jays. It's really cute. Then this is very desperate. Their husbands have a podcast called The Edge. 'Cause
Who?
Tamara and Teddy's husband
Oh my
have a
God.
podcast
Girl,
called
get
The Edge,
these
where they
people off
talk
of here.
about being reality TV husbands.
Goodbye.
And then Teddy and Emily has a podcast where they talk about like Love Island, Vanderpump, whatever. It gets worse. I'm gonna keep going. No, they have multiple.
It sounds like everything about to get canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
And so also on their podcast, because Tamara's on OC, they do OC recaps with Teddy and Alexia,
Okay.
which, not gonna lie, Alexia keeps it a buck. Being a Tamara friend or Alexis Bellino friend or not, she keeps it a buck on her. I really appreciate her.
But she can't see herself though. But that's a whole nother situation.
But
We
she's
continue.
I told you she's a Cuban Teresa. But
Yes.
and so then you have that. So then now, today, after this whole fiasco with Jackie, why did she
Hold on, let's
announce-
talk about what
But wait,
happened
but
with
wait,
Jackie.
I'm gonna say it first.
No, you need to say what
No,
happened with
let me
Jackie
talk.
first.
Let me talk. After this fiasco that we're gonna explain, she just announced today she has a solo pod
I bet
with
she
a
do.
therapist to discuss mental health.
Goodbye.
Girl,
But can we talk about
Anybody
first
talk
why
about
that's
cannot
talk
crazy?
So
No.
background, y'all. Background. I'm gonna give you background.
Thank you.
Jackie Goldschneider came on The Real Housewives of New Jersey as this truth teller, ex-lawyer, very intelligent, very smart, Jewish, very matter of fact.
Yep.
I loved Jackie
When
when
she
she
first
first
came
came on
on.
the show.
Uh-huh.
She was the only one that put Teresa in her place.
Sure
She was
did.
the only one that caught them stupid, say stuff didn't make sense. Like
Yep.
she just really was a very great addition. And one of the major storylines was Teresa started rumors that her husband was cheating on her.
Oh, God.
And it created this like turmoil between her and Teresa, and they were like enemies for like 4 seasons, y'all.
Enemies.
Like enemies for
Talked
like 4
about
or
her
5
eating
years.
disorder.
Eating disorder because she's anemic
Yeah.
or is it no, not anemic, bulimic.
Either
Bulimic.
bulimic or anorexic.
Right, and she
one
wrote
of
a
the
book
Yeah.
about that.
I
And
think anorexic.
Anorexic, that's
Okay,
what it is.
yeah.
She was like 90 pounds,
Yeah.
80 pounds. Like, it was bad. She wasn't eating, all of this stuff. So then, all of a sudden, when she gets demoted to a friend of, she gets desperate.
Very
Yeah.
And she decides
Yeah.
to think strategically of, I know this is probably the last season of this show as is. How do I make myself available to continue on this show? Because at the end of the day, I am a thirsty girl.
Yep.
And I act like I'm so intellectual that this is above me, but this is my bread and butter, and I love it, and I thrive off of this, and I can't imagine not being famous anymore. I remember when she first got demoted,
Yep.
and they talked about it on Teddy and Tamara podcast. She's like, I didn't have a place. I was crying every
Oh,
day.
my
I was
God.
depressed.
Because this was her life.
This was her life.
and you took it away.
And they
Yeah.
took it away. So she decided this season, I'm gonna do the unthinkable. I'm gonna switch teams. And I'm
sure
gonna
did.
be Team Teresa after I done
Crazy.
did the craziest stuff to her, done called her daughter probably a cokehead, all of that.
Yeah.
All
I
of it.
remember all of this.
All
How are
of
you
it.
able to switch? Like,
Out of
it's
nowhere.
always we open
Out of
arms.
no-
How does
like-
that
well,
happen?
because Teresa would
Teresa-
take anybody to be on her team.
Girl.
And Teresa and Margaret are like,
Really, the enemies.
they are the
Yes.
worst
and
enemies.
Margaret and Jackie were besties. So
Yes.
Teresa taking Jackie
To
is
get
like
tea
I
on
took your
Margaret.
best friend.
To get tea
I
on
took
Margaret.
your man, basically.
Yeah,
And Jasmine,
yeah.
it's so bad that like 3 episodes in, you hear Teresa and Jennifer literally talking stuff like,
How they using
yeah,
her.
like, yeah, we using her. We want the tea for Margaret. Like, we just want to know what happened when they were friends and what they were doing.
And they gonna just
We don't
decide.
really like her.
I ain't got time.
All of this.
I ain't
And
got time.
Jackie
She still defended it.
still defended it. Oh, we got past that. Yes, it was strategic at the beginning, but we got past that. Y'all hate to see people move on, and everybody's looking at her like, you are the.
You're
even
an
Teddy
idiot.
and Tamra said, okay, this not a good look for our girl. Like, it's really bad. So the moment in the finale that really took everything out, because this whole season was Teresa trying to prove that it was Margaret behind all of these stories about Louis getting out in the past.
Right.
That was her main goal. I mean, she had her lawyer have a sit down with a couple of those girls to try to prove that it was Margaret leaking this stuff, right? So Margaret knew coming to this dinner, I don't care what nobody say, if I have a list of top 5 smartest, conniving housewives that's always ahead of the game,
Yeah.
Margaret's
Margaret.
on there. And she's
Absolutely.
top 3.
Oh, I love
Nobody
Margaret.
ever played. She played a game
Freaking love
so well.
Margaret.
She played a long game.
Long game. She said, "Listen, I know what this dinner's gonna be about. This is gonna be about Teresa coming for me. So let me get the tea on Jack. Let me drop
Yeah,
the tea.
buddy.
Why the tea drop at the dinner? That it was Jackie that was meeting up with Louis' ex.
Ex-wife. Yeah.
See,
Which
see?
when we say Louis,
And
that
then she
is
lied about it at
Teresa's
first.
And lied about
new
it.
husband.
Jasmine,
Wicked
it was a
husband.
scene out of a literal movie. That, like, she like, you were the one meeting with her. No, I didn't. Oh my God, how could you say I never met with her? Girl, 5 seconds later, Melissa was like, listen, if Margaret's saying it, that means she got receipts. So
Yeah,
you might
so you might
want to
as well tell
own it
it.
up.
Go ahead and send
Ooh-wee.
that before she
Melissa
showing
literally
stuff.
told her, like,
If I were you,
I would
do
just
it.
I
own it
would
because
just
you
own it.
know if Margaret's saying it, she got proof.
Jesus.
Why did Jackie say that? Okay,
I did.
yeah, I
Ma'am.
did.
Why you lying?
right,
Now,
right.
this was the point of contention for me that made me done with Teresa for the rest of my life, right? So even Jennifer Aiden, Dolores, and Melissa sitting there like, are you okay with this? Jennifer Aiden is sitting there like, yeah, I don't think she's really processing what's going on because
Jeez.
she's like, that's fine because I hurt her first.
Yeah.
But this was the ace in the hole you had on Margaret that you was telling everybody she was the devil for meeting with this lady. But it turned out it was Jackie, your friend. But she like, oh, it's okay. I don't care if it's Jackie. Everybody was sitting there like, are we in the Twilight Zone? This is why I would
Yeah.
never be like. She's a dumb. I hate to
And
say it.
also,
She's a dumb
We
woman.
didn't talk about this, but how Louis was saying all this stuff about Margaret's son.
On camera.
On camera.
On camera, he said,
Ooh.
I hope that. What he said that he suffers.
Yes.
Oh
To
my
the
God.
point where
About
that
her son.
Andy was on his
He said, I
radio
could
show.
never. I never heard nothing that bad in
Yeah,
my
he
life
said
on the
if he
show.
would have heard, like, if somebody said about his son, he'd be ready to fight.
Yeah.
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 Like, it was just dark. Because Teresa and them go so low. It's like,
Yeah.
girl, you're the one.
That's why she keeps
That's
finding
the
herself
issue.
in these
You
situations
keep
that
marrying
she's
these
in.
crooks.
Yes.
That's
This
why.
dude is terrible. He is using
Yes.
you. He has all these lawsuits. He has all this stuff
Yes.
going on. But you still team Louis.
But she needs to wake up and realize the demise of her whole life was Louis.
Because
whole
now
life.
let's talk about it.
She has
They're about
nobody.
to allegedly
They're
New
canceling the
Jersey is
show.
getting ready to be
Cancel- put on a pause.
canceled and
Yeah.
rebooted.
Yeah.
Like
Like
they
New
are
York.
literally speculating that no one on the show
Is
will
coming back.
return. They are
Yeah.
literally going to recast everybody,
As they
all
should.
because Melissa and Teresa couldn't figure it out
Yep.
and be able to film together
Yep.
because it's now gotten so dark.
Yeah.
That like and literally
been dark,
the
though.
the fans are saying
For
it's too
somebody,
dark.
for Louis to get on that camera and say he hopes that Margaret's son
Wow.
suffers.
That's
He
insane.
said that out his mouth. And then Teresa on the finale took up for he didn't really mean it. He was just so mad, y'all. He didn't mean it. And she got mad at Dolores, started going off on Dolores because Dolores was like, I would never stand by no stuff like that.
Thank you.
Dolores literally told her, she was like, I don't even see how you're taking up for this. And she's like, don't do this, Dolores. Don't stick up for Margaret. He didn't mean it. See how low they brought him. They did this. This is all
who
Margaret's
is
fault."
they?
To the
Margaret.
flow.
Margaret is they. Margaret is the big bad wolf that she wants gone. Margaret is the reason behind everything.
She
bad.
she wanted Melissa gone. She
called her a
wanted
whore.
Margaret
She
gone.
said my brother married a whore.
Yes.
Ooh, child.
And the funniest thing, I know.
I
Okay,
can't do
I'm not
her.
gonna lie. I have to give my girl Melissa some
child.
chops. I have to give my girl Melissa some chops on this episode because you could just tell that she knew she wasn't involved in nothing. So she was trying to insert herself where it just looked thirsty.
Well, yeah,
'Cause she's trying to create relevance.
She
the
needs
show.
the show as
She
well.
Yes,
So
she
I
ain't got
felt-
nothing else going without this show. That's
I felt cringe.
What do you mean?
I felt cringe, but I did agree with her on this moment where they were revealed that it was Jackie that met with the ex. And she said, but she's still mad about sprinkle cookies with me.
Right.
Like,
and I mean,
that's
I'm with
the
her
truth.
though.
That is
I'm
the
with her
truth.
though. And you mad about me bringing sprinkle cookies to the house.
but you
and this
cool when
girl,
brought this man
ex
into
to
the
the
house
show.
to get secrets.
exactly. Like this is
That's
crazy.
But I just felt like Melissa was like, I have to get my tools in this episode in
Yeah,
some type
she
of
had
way. And it did give a little thirsty, but with the fact where she now also
Teresa.
she called Teresa white trash, and I'm like,
Huh?
Wait, what? Who called Teresa? Right?
Melissa.
Well, if you're gonna call me a whore,
But to be honest, she said white trash before the whore came out. That's what made
But,
her call
but
her
that's
a
not the
White
first. But that's not the
trash,
first
It's not
time
the first
Teresa
time.
has called her a
Exactly.
whore.
Because Melissa,
That is
I'm
not
just
the
gonna
first
see her
time.
being a stripper and a whore. Like I'm just gonna be a stripper.
And
a
I love
whore.
it.
And also,
And I love it.
Let's talk about the fact that they've been married for like 20 years.
Oh my God! Like
Why are we
20
still
something
talking
years.
about it like y'all got married last year?
That's why I stopped
We've been-
watching that show.
My daughter is in going
Literally
to
in
college.
No, she's
Yeah.
in college.
That's
She's,
why I
she's going
stopped
into her
watching.
sophomore year.
Like,
now.
what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
We've been married for 20-something years. If you
Yeah.
still hate me that much,
It's
That's
bad.
why I stopped
girl.
Well, that's why I say it's
20
jealousy.
years?
But that's why I say it's jealousy.
jealousy.
Because Melissa has had one husband, has had 3 kids, has
her
not had
husband
to
didn't
work
send
if
her to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Has not had to
Jesus.
work if she didn't want to. I mean, her
mean-
husband was literally begging her not to
to work.
open a boutique and work.
Yeah, he didn't want her to do
husband really
nothing.
want her to just sit at home and be cute for him.
That's
and
it.
raise his kids.
That's it.
And have fun.
Yeah.
And Teresa has lived nothing but pain and trauma.
But
and
Can I tell you what my theory is?
Decisions, though.
I think, and this sounds so crazy because maybe I've been watching
in
Game
love
of
with her brother.
Thrones. She want her
She's
brother.
in love with her brother. In a weird way. She
And
wants,
she's
she wants
obsessed
her
with what
brother
her
to
brother
puts first.
What her brother does for Melissa.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants him to do
that
for her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
And
that's
she
very clear.
realizes that as
Yeah.
long as Melissa is there, he
I
can't
can't
do
get
that for
that.
her.
No, it's very clear because she has said multiple times that you are choosing her over me.
Yes.
But that's what
It's
you're
like,
supposed to
leave,
Yes.
please, girl,
right?
leave
and
and
cleave.
cleave.
Yes, it's
That ain't
crazy.
just for parents.
But then the
siblings,
thing that
too.
used to piss me off about her saying that, she never chose Joe over other Joe.
She did not.
That's real.
She let
She
them
never did.
fist fight.
Yeah.
She let
did.
Joe call him all type of names and go for his business. She let her husband go even to her
But
cousin,
you know,
to
she don't
Rosie,
see
to
herself.
her
She
whole
don't.
family.
her whole
The
family.
one thing about
family.
Teresa, they always say that she got this big heart or whatever.
No, she don't.
But
she
this
do
girl
not.
do not see herself.
She's
And we're
evil.
going to talk about you, Carlos, because I'm tired.
Oh, my
But we're going to
God.
come back to you
Ugh.
because I literally have not been able to listen to your
I haven't.
podcast for
He
the
just
last
dropped another
month
one
or so
With who?
because I can't deal with you being a tree hugger.
He just
I can't.
dropped another one today where he's talking about Jersey, Teresa versus
Goodbye.
Melissa again.
Jesus.
And in it, he says he thinks moving forward they're gonna keep Teresa, Danielle, and Dolores. So that's going around the wavelengths right now. But I cannot. We're gonna get to him. Cause
We'll
y'all,
get to him.
Y'all know I've been
He's
giving
part of the
him chops
problem.
for the last
I
couple
know,
months.
but we gonna spend a little bit of
But
time
no,
on
it gets
it.
bad because we getting in the OC now.
Yeah, let's go OC. So, because OC is currently on, so that's why
Yes.
we're like doing
Can
it
I
this
tell
way.
y'all the truth?
So so we're talking about Real Housewives of
Oh, Orange
OC.
County.
It just came back.
And I'm gonna tell you this:
We're on episode what?
4 or 5. It's
about
like
to say,
5 or
maybe
6.
like
Maybe
a
like
little bit over a
episode
month.
5.
Yeah.
And so the basis of OC.
It's the best show on Bravo. It's the best
It really
Housewives
is.
franchise right now.
So
It
you
is.
have Shannon Bedore,
Oh my girl.
Who her
I'm a
ex-
Shannon stan.
her ex-man, John,
Yeah.
is now with her nemesis,
Yeah.
Alexis.
Yeah.
And she also had a spiral down of a DUI, all
Yeah.
the things. So she's been going through a lot of mental health.
Yeah.
Let's
And then
talk
they
about
brought Alexis back on this show because
Yeah.
of who she's dating.
Yeah.
This is insane. I'm going to let y'all take it away.
The DUI situation with John and
It was
Shannon,
bad.
it was bad, and she could really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
But also, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't.
Like, they was just dating not that long ago.
And they start filming I think she said they started filming 2 months after the DUI.
Yep.
And 2 weeks after her and John broke up and he was with
With Alexis.
within 2 weeks of them breaking up.
See,
Because I
that's
think the
it.
problem is, and this is a thing
That's it.
this is a thing that people have been outraged with Bravo about, and even I've been Watch What Happens Live, and do you know how many people has come on that show as guests and have kind of went off on Andy? Like, what y'all are doing to this lady is a form of bullying. Like,
is.
it is so bad what they're doing to her.
That is.
And
What are they doing?
Okay, let me break it down. So y'all know I'm a Shannon stan.
I haven't caught up yet, but I love OC.
And I remember after the reunion last time, I told y'all, I said, I really hope she owns up to her drinking.
Yes.
Going back, I'm going to say this. So the whole last season was about how everybody was upset at Shannon because she would not share on camera how bad her relationship was. But she would get drunk at night and call her friends and tell her friends what's going on in her relationship. Every single woman on that cast begged her to leave John, told her that he was draining her, that he was a bad human being, right? So remember this while I keep talking. So all last season, they wanted to be exposed to how bad John was, right? He didn't want to film. He said his kids hated Shannon. He used to call her fat. He made her pay for everything. It was sued her. It was so bad for her mental health. And I remember right before the reunion, people started seeing them back together. And at the reunion, Andy and everybody was like, Shannon, you need to let this man go. He is draining you.
Let him go.
2 days later, she got into an argument with John at his house, drove drunk, hit a house, DUI.
Huh?
Yes.
No, like,
Yeah.
for real,
Like
for
2
real?
That's
days after the
really
reunion,
happened.
Jasmine.
Like
it's
she could have, like,
really
she
bad.
could have killed somebody. She could have killed herself.
And
Her
the dog was in
the
the car. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Oh, no, and then she walked off.
and walked
Left
off.
the car.
Yeah, and left the car. So it was a hit and run. It was bad. It was so
was
bad.
really
And I
bad.
remember we potted and I said, pray for my girl because I'm going to have to take up for her all next season because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
y'all remember, y'all remember I was
Yeah. I
really
remember
like,
you
I'm
saying
praying
that.
for my girl because it's going to be hard on her. But nobody in a million years would have suspected that the man that didn't want to be on TV, didn't want to be in the public eye,
None of
didn't want to do this and this and that, and said that the reason why they're not together is because of how famous she is, and that's not the life he wanted.
But you get with another one.
decided to get with Alexis Bellino.
Who then in turn got back on the show.
Yeah,
Because
because
we
of
knew
you.
this was gonna be like a
A
drama-filled
storyline.
situation.
So speaking of this situation, they bring Alexis back. And her and Tamara all of a sudden are now best friends because they made up, quote unquote, at BravoCon before she, quote unquote, dated John. But this is where my problem lies with Tamara. She's so calculated. Yeah, you made up with her at BravoCon, but because the fact that they brought her to BravoCon let you know as a housewife, she's a very smart housewife, that they're trying to bring her back on the show.
Right.
So Tamara made up with her strategically, and then all of a sudden you end up with John, and then all of a sudden John's a great guy now.
Now that's the crazy part. to
John's
me.
a great guy, and,
because they were
and-
trying to get her to break up with that man for a
and we
minute.
were
yes.
tainted because of what Shannon said, but it's not the truth because now Alexis have a different story with John, and
Somebody
he's a
who
great
you never
guy.
liked.
Somebody
You
you've
never
never
liked
liked.
this girl.
I just what they're doing to her is, to me, if everybody's concerned with her drinking, if everybody's concerned with Shannon's mental health and her
Yeah.
using alcohol as a coping mechanism, you're gonna put more trauma on her by bringing this gutter snipe woman
We
to this show that's dating her ex
And Vicky.
and Vicky.
And Vicky, who is also a gutter snipe.
Exact to this show to then talk about her. Then all of a sudden, now Tamara hate her again. Now Tamara wants to call her an alcoholic every chance she
She don't like
gets.
Vicky neither.
When let's not forget Miss Naked wasted Tamara,
Man.
who told her son to get Gretchen naked wasted on camera so she can tell her business to the world.
Yep.
But you're telling somebody they're an alcoholic and you're berating them and the thing is,
Tamara.
baby, if you want somebody to stop drinking and you want them as a
And
friend
you care
and
about
you
them.
care about
If
them,
you
love
really
them,
care about
you
the
would
person.
not scream at them calling them alcoholics.
No,
That's
you would
true.
not.
That's gonna put them deeper down.
Absolutely.
Deeper down. Now I'm going home and really getting drunk, man.
Yep.
And here's the thing, Shannon is such a.
She's been through so much.
She's been through so
Yeah.
Her husband
much.
cheated on her too.
Yes.
That's how she came on the show. She had
Yes.
this big life. She was so rich, and
Yeah.
I think that's why her and Heather
So
never got along
rich.
because she
They were
was
similar
she
rich.
they were similar rich, and Heather was feeling like, oh shoot, now somebody on this show they got the same amount of money as me, and she was quirky. Everybody fell in love with Shannon. She was that
Very
holistic
quirky.
lady.
Yes.
she was Dr. Moon and all of the. I was
Yes.
obsessed with her, and her husband had an affair. She tried to get back with, like she.
Man,
They tried to
Shit.
fix
Like
the
they
marriage.
tried to fix it, and you just see him being so mean to her on camera. Then her life just
And then
went,
eventually he just like, I don't want to
You
be
know
with you,
what?
girl. I got
Yeah.
he. Well, they always say he had another woman and she didn't
Yeah.
believe it.
yeah.
And so he finally came out and said, you know, and he got with that woman. So she's
Yeah,
dealing
they're
with her
married
kids
now.
in that situation, starting all over on her own,
Yep.
food business,
Yep.
trying to get that off the ground.
Yep.
And then she, as a rebound, you know what, how women are, like
Yep.
when we are really, really
So
hurt,
forgiving.
we end up sometimes going to the next
A
dude.
bad guy.
And he's not the best. And
Yeah.
so she met John, and John was terrible
Gave
for her
her
self-esteem.
attention though.
And so
Love
here we,
bombed her.
so now she can't even be done with the relationship because
Yep.
it's being blasted in her face
Yep.
with another woman who she got to work with, which
Yep.
is so crazy to
But
me.
it's more layers, and then you got your literal ex-best friend that probably know every single one of
Tamara
your
and her were
secrets,
close, yeah.
telling the new girl your business with the old guy.
Yeah, that's really
insane.
bad.
Like she literally had a scene, y'all, on this last episode, sitting at Alexis's house, telling Alexis everything that Shannon has ever told her about her relationship with John.
That is really, and that's why Tamara is nobody's friend. And
Ever.
I hope that
She's a gutter
people
snipe.
really see that and be like, girl, we ain't got to be enemies, but I'm good on
Never
you.
be a friend.
Never.
I'm good on you.
And that's why I feel like they need to bring somebody that's a wild card on this show to go off on her because nobody is
they
willing
thought
to.
Gina was gonna be like that.
But Gina,
Gina
like, she go back
can't.
and
No, let's
forth.
talk about it. Gina is still living in a casita.
Made her man move out.
Gina right now is trying to figure out life. She
Yeah.
can't talk about nobody.
Yeah.
And
no,
now,
she talking
now,
bad about Jen.
now, here's the thing. Gina, when she was married and had a lot of money,
Yeah.
could then come at her like crazy. But
Yeah.
Gina is trying to stay out of the eye because she don't want nobody talking about her right now.
But she
So-
has stuck up for Shannon in recent
Oh,
episodes.
she has.
She has a real and this is why I also say my girl Shannon really sat down and she came to this season and said, "Listen, I'm finna be skinny. I'm getting this facelift.
Yeah.
I'm finna be fine."
But he's suing
Yeah.
her for that.
He's suing her for the facelift. But not only that,
How you gonna sue me
listen,
for a
it gets
facelift?
worse.
Girl,
She came
this is a
back on this
nightmare.
show,
Oh my God.
and I feel like she took a housewife class. Because I thought she was gonna come back on this show and she was
Crying
gonna triple
and
down on
teary.
everything, and it was gonna be so bad for her. She didn't even give nobody the chance because you know she used to talk bad about Gina and her DUI.
Uh-huh.
Before Gina could even hit her, I told you so. I want to pull you aside and tell you that I am so sorry for how
We
I ever treated you.
love
Oh, I
Shannon.
mean, she pulled a
she
housewife.
pulled. She said, "Can't nobody say nothing to me. I'm gonna go
Oh
have
my
it."
God. Come back with more stuff.
I love
That's
whoever
crazy.
told her what to do. They did it because now every single person that's on Twitter, on Instagram, are on Shannon's side. She came back fine, skinny, unapologetic, and taking accountability and cute and not crying all the time. And she's fun now. And it's like the world.
Shannon
is-
gonna win this. I feel like she's
Yeah.
gonna win this
She's
season.
already winning.
But it's a
Because
long
these people ain't
end game for
likable.
Yeah.
her. It's a
Vicky's not
long end
likable,
game and it's
Tamara's not
horrible.
likable.
But yes, Jasmine, her man is now suing her for $75,000
For a
because he
facelift.
paid for her facelift, and he claimed it was a loan. You know good when that wasn't no loan.
Who
That's
loans to get their
crazy.
facelift?
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Why we in a relationship?
Why we in a relationship?
Why we in a relationship?
And then Gutter Snipe new girlfriend wants to show everybody the wires that he made to Shannon's account.
Yeah.
What they got to do with it? That mean I got the money. I don't know
Thank you.
what
That's not a receipt.
That's
That's,
not a
my
receipt.
problem.
That's just
if
telling
you had
niggas
if you had a
text
contract,
if you had a text
or a
message that say you need to
message
pay
that-
me back.
and she agreed, then that's a receipt.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, my
crazy,
man
y'all.
sent me $75,000.
So I just got
Well,
some
and
money.
it's like, Alexis, girl, you doing a lot for a man that you barely
2 months.
know.
At this point, they've been together 2 months.
Well, now she's on this campaign of like, I'm tired of y'all talking bad about my man, my
Yeah,
man, my
my
man,
man,
my
my man, my
man.
man.
And so she's trying to like set records
A
straight.
campaign
of, like,
funded by
it's
Carlos King.
revisionist history.
Man.
It is so crazy. It's like, girl, we just watched this man last season
Yeah.
in real time treat her horrible.
that's the
You
only reason
cannot
why-
have revisionist history about this
That's
man.
the only reason why I respect Emily and Gina this season, because they're the only ones that's like, oh, the one thing we not gonna do now. They said they like, listen, Shannon is not innocent in anything. She is quirky, she crazy, she do fight with people, but we not finna act like John's a good guy.
that part.
Okay.
not.
So that's why I do appreciate them, because they're the only ones that sit here like, y'all not finna sit here and rebrand this man, calling him Johnny now.
Yeah. Girl.
Girl.
Goodbye.
He rebranded to Johnny.
Goodbye.
And I don't like Heather Dubrow sitting there laughing at it, making it a thing.
Heather just likes
She don't like
gossip.
Shannon. She don't like Shannon.
She don't like Shannon, and she and
but she
listen,
just said
she
that.
likes gossip.
They got similar money.
They have similar
And
money, and she wanted to be the
Yes.
rich one.
It
Of
turns
course.
out that Shannon's dad is
Money.
some kind of like real estate,
Which I did not
mogul.
know.
Yeah.
I saw that online. Like
Yep.
he got money.
Yep.
wow.
And the daddy filmed this last episode. I love the lunch that they had together, and she told him about John suing him. He said, you need to take the kid gloves off and go for him. Go for the
Period.
jugular.
Ooh, I love Daddy.
Daddy Jean said, you need to go for the... Because
All right, Daddy.
everybody knows that this man is a bad man. Like, it's so crazy
He's
that...
getting away with it because he got two women. In his mind, he got two women
And
fighting
Carlos.
over him. But like, will you stop it?
He got Carlos.
Okay.
He do got
He
Carlos.
got Carlos.
All right, we're gonna keep it. So that's OC. If y'all have not gotten into it
Please,
yet,
it's the best housewife show. I'm not gonna lie.
it is so good.
Yeah.
I still got a few episodes to catch
Yeah.
up on.
Baby, I got
But, like,
seasons.
No, but OC is like one of
Honestly,
my
don't
favorites.
start. Just start like...
Just start like
Just
the last
start-
season.
last season, because that was
last
when it
season.
came
I
back.
don't have time. Yeah.
So, the last season
You should
started...
be way got time.
No.
I ain't got time to be watching from season
No,
one.
no,
No, just start
Oh.
from last season.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because that's when Tamara came back and it became a good... Now...
Yeah.
Tamara coming back gave him a villain again, but I think that she's so
She's
desperate
doing too much.
to
She's
play-
playing a part. She's nobody's like what I loved about Tamara when she initially was on the show. Her and Vicky were real friends.
sisters.
So like you really got to see a real friendship
Yeah.
that like people couldn't understand,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
they were diehard
Yeah.
friends. And now like I feel like that element is missing on this
Well,
show.
now
They're not
Vicky and
friends.
Shannon are like that now.
But I'm just saying, like, I just remember from the earlier seasons,
Yeah.
Vicky
But
and
they
Tamara went
fell
on.
apart
They
because
went
of the
on
Brooke
vacations
Brooks, yeah.
together.
But
Their
Tamara was
kids
right in
went
the
on
Brooke
vacations
situation.
together.
That's the thing.
Shannon was involved
And
in
she
that
was
too.
Yeah,
right.
Shannon was right. No, Shannon and Megan was the real ones going.
What
And-
gate was
and
that
they
one?
found-
Cancer Gate.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Girl,
and
that's when
Shannon
Brooke
brought
lied
her
about having
medical
cancer.
record
Now, I
from
do know
that
about that because of the
place,
book.
and- Yeah.
I know about that
But-
because of the book.
But all I'm gonna
Vicky
say
knew
is
all along.
Tamara
I don't care
doesn't
what
feel
nobody
as
say.
human because I feel like the characters that actually humanize her are no longer on the show, and so now
Yeah.
she's
Because she
playing
don't
a
got
part.
nobody.
She has no
She is
friends in real
playing a
life.
part, and like the girls that she's filming with right now, she don't have real relationships with.
Nope.
Unlike her and Vicky, that stuff was real,
Yeah.
and like that's what made that show so good. So Tamara is just back.
Well, I also
she there.
think that Tamara is
like-
mad that Vicky is doing this for Shannon.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a jealousy thing. So
oh
the
yeah, always.
timeline-
Well, anytime anybody gets
Yeah.
Vicky's attention, it's a problem with
Yes.
Tamara.
And the timeline was when Shannon got that DUI. That was the day that Tamara shipped off to go film Traitors in Greenland or Scotland.
Oh, okay.
And so
She didn't last long.
yeah, she was
She was
terrible.
terrible.
She's a
Horrible.
see-through person.
She's a see-through person.
Yeah,
We all
she
gonna
was
see through her.
terrible.
And Shannon said Vicky took her in, literally made her come stay at her house for weeks on end when she had that DUI.
Cause that's one thing. Vicky is cool,
real friend. She a
but one
friend,
thing she
though.
gonna do is she gonna take care of her
Yeah,
friends, and
she
I
is.
love that about
Yeah.
her. All right, so that's it for OC.
Yeah.
We're now about to move out of the Real Housewives,
Okay.
Oh Lord.
and we're gonna talk about two of Carlos's shows.
Oh, God.
Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and then Detroit is getting ready to come back. But
Great.
we're gonna start with Huntsville. So first we have to start with Rest in Peace,
Kiki.
Oh man, we haven't potted.
No, since we potted, they lost a very instrumental player on this season, last season. Kiki, although she had a hard time telling her story on the show, I think in the eyes of her tumultuous relationship with her cousin, it got kind of lost in translation. But unfortunately, she did pass away while we were not on the pod. So we also want to just like make sure that we acknowledge that and send love to the family, prayers. We know a lot of the stuff that she was going through was not easy. Yeah. And it takes a family to be able to uplift your family members when you're going through those things. Yeah. And I also think, and we'll get into the real pieces of it, but I do think Tisha is even having some serious remorse about how she even treated her on the show.
They used her.
And you give her more credit, but okay.
Yeah, because I don't think so. Because they used that girl.
Period. Because I just feel like.
And I feel like it's another example of kind of how we were talking about Shannon. Yes. You cannot put these people in these situations constantly on these shows and think it's not going to affect their real life and real mental health.
That's what somebody in her family said.
Yeah, y'all used her.
Tisha's mama and her not to
you
come
can't
to the
come
service
because y'all used her.
Y'all used her
so
for years.
Y'all heard Tisha and her mama couldn't come because they talked so bad about Kiki. Yeah. But I'm also going to say this. Although Kiki did pass, we all know family stuff.
It gets hard.
You're not going to go on TV and tell everybody all the background as to how y'all got here.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm also going to be very, very aware of we do not truly know the breakdown of Tisha and Kiki's relationship. Yeah. We are only going off of what has been seen on TV. Yeah. I think there are some really deep-rooted issues before the movie got to this point.
Both of their mamas probably.
And so I do not think that Kiki was innocent. I do think it was kind of messed up that she came up on that show literally to take Tisha down.
Yeah.
Like that literally was her MO.
She had befriended her enemy.
She did. And so and to Tisha's perspective, it's like, first of all, I didn't even know you were coming on here. Two, you were supposed to be one of my closest cousins. And although we got some issues, I didn't think it was this bad where you would go on the other side and do this against me.
I don't buy that
and talk about my marriage.
Because there's no way that Wanda could be talking about her in that way. I mean, they literally talk about going back to when they were children and how they were treated. Yeah. We know all about that. We have talked about that since we've been here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like,
it's deeper.
I'm not buying it. I don't know if it was actually an issue between the two of them or if it started with the parents and then trickled down to them.
Yeah.
But both sides was wrong.
Absolutely.
Kiki threw that drink on her. What was that last season?
My God, it was so bad. Trying to get a moment. That's the thing, though. Kiki did come on the show very thirsty.
Very.
She threw that stuff at her. That was crazy.
She kept trying to out Marcel for cheating.
Yeah, but never really
never gave the real tea about it. Never gave a good example. And that's the thing that y'all gotta learn about Tisha. You gotta show her this man in bed with a woman in different angles,
DNA,
and then a video, and then you need to get a kit done and see if that really was his DNA inside.
She ain't all of that. She ain't going till she get 100%.
Until she get that, she ain't leaving.
I still don't think she.
They had a picture of that man back. She said that ain't his
back. She gonna be like Rashida. Yeah, she said that's not his back. You know your man back.
You know your that part.
Back. You know your man back.
Especially y'all been together since college. You know who that is.
In his head.
Hello.
But we say all that to say, like, I hate how, life is short.
Life is absolutely
and
short.
Although it's real cute on TV, these are people's real lives. And we also know that, like, Kiki was really struggling and going through her things with drugs.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, no, she did admit that she had a problem at one point. We just don't know. We had prescription drugs. Yeah. We just don't know as to what length it currently was, if there was
like
anything.
Opioids.
Right. Yeah. And so, to your point, all of this stuff affects people's mental health, and it could downward spiral people. And we have to remember that although it's fun and entertaining for us,
but it's real life.
This is people's real lives of what they're going through, and we just send in love to the family and the Kiki man because that is crazy. But we're going to shift off of Tisha and Kiki.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about love and marriage. Let's talk about how crazy this season has been for.
What's that girl, Sunny and?
No, not even Sunny. I was just going to say Martell. Yeah, this has been a crazy season for Martell.
They're trying to buy a house. That's the last thing I remember.
And Moses named his business
after her
Destiny.
son.
After girl's
Destiny's son.
Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna skip Martell. We're gonna go talk about. We're gonna talk about Destiny's return back to Love and Marriage Huntsville this season.
Ew, hater.
So Destiny went out because at one point we were like, "You ain't married. You got a divorce.
And you ain't talking.
You ain't talking to nobody.
Talk about it.
And
she has a gag
at
order.
this point, you hate Mel.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why. You love Martell, but like you're just a random antagonist on the show that don't have any plating, and so we exited her out.
Yeah.
So now she comes back on the show because we found out her long-standing boyfriend.
But it wasn't even her long-standing boyfriend. That's what's really weird. Like
they were her long-standing friend / boyfriend from St. Louis. Yeah, she was coming to St. Louis.
We're skipping over her ex. I think the weirdest thing is like what we wanted to know about was her ex.
But let's talk about the boyfriend first because we ain't talked about her
ex-husband.
It's a gag order.
Man.
So going to through to where we are today, her producer, and now this is what's so crazy is we talk about breaking the wall.
Yeah, breaking the
Ain't no walls.
We're breaking the wall
Ain't
because
no walls.
the problem is every talent or every reality star, they have their own producer.
In the wrong walls.
We hear this from Carlos. about like who he used to produce on when he was doing a producer on reality TV.
Right.
So her producer, the talent, her producer.
What is insane?
Literally, who she has to tell everything, love life, so they can figure out like how to film and like what to shoot.
Yeah.
Goes with her. She's traveling with her to St. Louis when they're doing these little filmings with her in St. Louis to see her dude. Ends up, fast forward, marrying the man that she was dating.
That's the nuttiest thing.
It
ever.
is the craziest thing. And she literally is saying that Destiny was done with him and they fell in love.
And she was a side chick.
She was not no side chick and all these things. And so, but the timelines ain't mathing. Like the math ain't mathing. Destiny is like, so were you with him this time? We were still together. Were you still with him? Oh, you saying you were? Well, actually, I found out he was with 3 other girls, including me at that time.
That's cute.
So you think she said, "Well, I'm the one that got a ring." Okay, that's what you are saying is winning.
That means nothing.
Then sis,
he's still cheating, still checking for Destiny.
Have him, and he keep looking for me.
He's
Why?
still checking for Destiny.
So,
and also she has too much energy for Destiny.
She really does.
It's a jealousy
You
thing.
were
It's
my
never about the
producer.
man. It's always about the woman. I'm telling you, when women do this type of stuff and they quote unquote steal somebody man, it's always
about the girl that they wanted to be.
because
And so like she didn't want to be behind the scenes. She wanted to be in front of scenes like Destiny. And so unfortunately, Destiny is like she's much more mature than me.
Way more mature.
Because the way that she is really handling this situation, because girl is trying to make it seem like they never had a real friendship. And she's like, girl, like your sister invited me to your birthday party in Mexico.
Insane.
Like me and you talked every day. Like we would go do dinners. We would go like it wasn't just work with us. Like we had a real relationship. You broke girl code and you don't want to admit it. And like it's so crazy. And so fast forward, they start talking to about St. Louis real bad. And we just sit here just like St. Louis ain't all. Let me be very clear. Every city
has a dangerous part.
Has a bad part.
Right.
We're not saying that St. Louis ain't safe because we know we have been a murder capital before, but that's only relative because we have a smaller population than most cities.
Period.
So 1 or 2 in a fraction of this many people versus a Detroit seems a lot more astronomical.
Yeah.
Right.
So because of that, yes, we have been on lists, but it is not like that crazy. And we have some of the best upward what I would say communities in St. Louis. Between like you want to live in Walnut Park, that's on you. But you got Ladue, you got Clayton, you got let's keep going. Chesterfield, St. Charles. You got what we not finna do is make it seem like St. Louis is only ghetto. Like we trying to make it they kept saying we trying to make it out of St. Louis. People end up dead there. Girl, where you at? Because of the money, if you claim that he got all these businesses, I'm trying to understand why y'all in Walnut Park.
He got all this motion.
And why we not at least on the south side of St. Louis in the new developments? Like, what's happening?
She's a producer. Where's your money?
Why are y'all living in the hood?
And she was a talent producer, so that's not even the top totem pole.
No.
Yeah.
So go back to what you were saying about bullying. Why are y'all buying a house in Huntsville?
Thank you.
So fast forward. The reason why we said that was their excuse for buying a house in Huntsville
to get out of St. Louis.
Is because they're saying they need to get out of St. Louis because it's so bad.
I was just about
And
to say.
it's better to raise a family in Huntsville.
Huntsville is dangerous.
And I'm like,
just like any other, I feel
what?
like any city
Every
can
city
be
has
dangerous.
their areas.
In that scene, when they go to see the house with Martell and Chris.
yes,
Was it?
that was
Chris
so
Fletcher.
messy. It was
Yeah,
so
that's when
messy.
they find out that Moses named his business after Destiny's son.
Insane.
So if she's just a side chick, why is he doing
Name
all
it.
that?
Or wasn't ever a main chick. And his excuse is, well, she wasn't taking care of her man. She didn't prioritize me because she couldn't come to my birthday.
How would you know what she was doing?
Because I wanted her and say, she was like, I was in St. Louis all the time. Yeah, but you didn't come there when I really wanted you there the most. She was like, I came to you. When did you come to me?
Hello.
Right.
And he was like,
But
you
now
supposed to
you
cater
want
to my man.
Yeah, but
Typical
now it's
man.
like they
But
go
now
to-
you coming to
That's
Huntsville.
a typical man.
Now they trying to get pregnant. Now they trying to. It's just
Yeah,
all
she
this
wanna
stuff.
have
IVF, right?
Oh my God, it has to be triggering for Destiny, but she's handling it so
But it's
well.
like she wants to do that because when they have that conversation, he ain't
don't.
really
Yeah.
involved.
Cause don't he got kids or something?
I don't know. I don't remember.
She had a kid, and
Yeah,
then they
that's
was
what I'm
trying to
saying.
have a
Like,
kid.
I thought they had-
Like I
I
thought
thought-
Destiny
yeah.
and him was trying to have a kid.
Yeah.
She said they would.
She said he was trying to get her pregnant.
He was trying to get her pregnant.
Yeah.
They were literally about to go through fertility treatments together.
But
So
that's
this is
not
what
your
I'm saying,
girl.
it's
Right,
trash.
But that's not your girl.
But you know what I look at it, like that's a blessing in disguise that
It
all
is
this
for
happened.
them.
Because imagine if you would have went through all that and you found out later
He
that this
wasn't
is
the
the
guy
kind of
for you.
dude
Yeah.
that he is. Like
Yeah.
Destiny's been through enough. Like your next dude, that's your real dude, should be somebody better. And I know it hurts because it's happening in your faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least now you know the kind of dude you was dealing with was trash. And like you can
messy
have
part.
him.
But don't that make y'all
Have
think
him.
about why would she be so cool and close to a man named Martell?
Man,
No.
I
She
think
don't
they-
know how to pick him clearly.
No, they got energy.
I
They got
said
energy.
it.
I'm
I
with
said
Melanie,
it.
and I really
They
do
been
feel like
together.
something, because like he keeps talking about old girl, which we're gonna move on to, the
Trish.
new girl Trish. So first of all, can we talk about? I really do not like this girl's personality. She's so
all.
dry,
She dry.
and I'm just trying to understand why she been on
And she
here,
be
but they
lying.
only threw
Yeah,
her
she do.
on here. Because I guess
They
the
had nothing else
mess,
to do.
No,
the
because
mess
it's
of
Martell
her
mess.
messing with allegedly
Messing with Martell.
messing
Also
with
being
Martell.
She's married, but
Yeah.
got a man.
Got a man.
Although
Mary-
her
for 2
husband
years.
is trash. Pure
Her
trash.
husband is trash.
but
I'm
have
gonna
no
disagree with that.
papers drawn at the
Yeah.
time.
No intention.
And no intentions
Yeah.
of getting a divorce, but this man want to marry her, and he looking at her like, do you still love this man?
Savannah.
Are y'all forgetting when the sister didn't even know they wasn't together?
Oh,
Yes.
the sister. Oh, they've been not together for 4 or 5 years,
And
Yes.
the sister had no clue.
and her own sister didn't even know that they weren't together anymore.
Jesus.
So to me, there's a lot more into this situation that I wish they would spend a little bit more time
They
on.
claim they are.
Because I don't understand it. I really don't get it.
See, part 2 gonna have to be more Trish and her background.
Well, that's what they said because I watched Heavenly and Carlos like they Monday thing, and they interviewed her last week.
yeah, I didn't watch hers.
And she is saying that like some more stuff is gonna come out because allegedly some man, unnamed man that they won't say, I think it's Maurice, allegedly tried to hook her up with Martell while he was going through stuff with Melody, and that is gonna come out and they're gonna argue and.
I can see it being Maurice,
I
especially
think it's
because they ain't
Maurice.
been on this
'Cause
season
she-
at
and
all.
she-
Can I
They
be
have
honest
not.
with you? I'm gonna tell y'all why. I think that last season, Kimmy gave her all. And
she did.
talking about everything with breast cancer,
Yeah.
and like that was really hard for her.
Not even just a breast
And
cancer.
hold on. I just feel like Carlos is really good at when a talent gives a lot a season, he'll be like, you know what, you need a mental break and a health
He ain't
break.
do that with Melody.
Nah,
So
but he
I'm
need-
gonna
but
give
also
you a
had
break.
cancer too at this time
But-
too,
Yeah,
right?
I think he gave her a little bit of a
But
break.
Maurice needs a redemption arc because
Yep.
He does.
these last
I don't
two
think he's been
seasons,
redeemed.
he's
He
not
got a
even
DUI. Yeah,
Exactly.
he
It's
got
gonna
DUI as
be
a
go
lawyer,
even
as
further.
a lawyer.
Like, I just think Kimmy is in a lot of scenes because I'm telling y'all, like, after that cancer scare and that cancer battle, she's like, look, I'll be on the show, but, like, I need a beat. I don't want to be dealing with all this turmoil and all this stuff. That's affecting my mental health. I just got over cancer, and I just need a beat. I'll be a part of the stuff with my sister-in-law, and, like, I'll show up for certain scenes for all cast stuff, but, like, ain't finna be no 1, 2, and me and Maurice a
But
lot. Like, I need a
I don't
break.
think it's just about the breast cancer. I think that Maurice,
The marriage.
It's not a good marriage.
The stuff that he was saying out of his own mouth last season
was crazy. And she was trying to take all them bullets for him.
Everybody online is saying, girl,
you're
why
crazy.
Are you staying with this man? You are going through cancer treatments. And
he basically is telling her where he's raping you.
Exactly. Like, he's thinking about himself.
Well, she tried to re-explain it, but it didn't go
it made it worse.
Exactly.
Well.
She tried to re-explain it for him.
Yeah.
Instead of him explaining
he
it
tried
himself.
to, but he made it worse.
Sounded worse. It sounded like real rape.
It sounded worse. So we just,
like.
listen, I just think Kimmy is one of my favorites. I just commend, I will say this.
Because she's not a girl's girl.
I commend
this, what she doing with this Sunny situation.
She's not a girl's girl.
I forgot about that.
What she did with Mel, she's not a girl's girl.
And the surprising thing is Tisha is the one giving the energy that I thought Kimmy would.
Yeah.
Tisha's the one that's like, I want nothing to do with this girl. Like, I don't want her around my husband, but you know why she don't want her around her.
Like women like that.
But
you know why she don't like women
also,
like
Kimmy was the one that was said that she was a side chick. So you think that she would be like,
we unpacked that.
More,
we unpacked that before.
We did.
Yeah, I don't know.
From one side chick to another.
I don't know where we left off though, as far as like the actual show. I think it's kind of taking a little bit of a
it took an Olympic break.
It took an Olympic break.
Because the Olympics.
And then we didn't say much about Martell, but y'all, Martell is a whole.
I don't care about that.
He ain't got no money, y'all.
What is
happening?
He been had no money.
How did
Nell
you
and Chris
have?
And their family.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I have been enjoying this season.
Me too.
Yes.
Well, we
What's
said
up
that
with
last
Nell
season.
and Chris?
They have been the saving grace of this show. I would not watch the show if it wasn't for them.
They have had
Bring Them
some
On was the best
really
decision they had
good
made at that time.
episodes.
Yep. Now the daughter falling. I knew after that scene last year, the daughter was gonna fall out with Nell, and the whole he was with my mama, and then I knew it.
Listen, Nell with the therapy scenes, it's just like how she's trying to really handle her kids.
I know this Nell. They 50s.
She a baby
She
boomer.
turned 60.
So she
turned 60. Was that her 60th birthday party?
I think so.
So she a baby boomer.
But she didn't want to go to
because that therapy.
She didn't.
She
don't believe
therapy
it.
told me.
She said, "All I want my kids to do is to run me my money
And stop
That's
asking me
it.
for money.
I
agree.
don't even need.
I
don't need. I just listen. My account is my account.
Yeah.
But she do.
But she
Because
do.
her kids are telling her,
Girl.
Yeah.
we can't deal with you.
Yeah.
We can't be vulnerable with you.
But
because
I
of how
feel
you
her.
behave.
But I feel her though. Like
Yeah.
you can't be vulnerable with me, but you go to your daddy because you could be vulnerable with him. But your daddy the one asking me for the money, and y'all know that.
Yep. And I'm gonna give it to him every time.
Your husband
that's
is.
the
And that's the problem. I think Chris he wants to be the good cop.
Yeah,
He is.
He makes her the bad
He
cop.
is.
And he makes her
And
the
he
bad
makes her
cop
the
at
bad
the
cop.
detriment to their
I'll be real
marriage.
with y'all. That therapist is probably the best therapist
I've
on,
seen.
on
I've seen
reality
We've
TV.
seen
Yeah.
some trash therapists.
Dr.
Oh,
Sherry?
She was like, no. She was like, no. Let them
Diana?
talk. Do you not hear them? Let them
Ayana,
talk.
she get it in.
I don't know.
She
I
come from
don't
gutter
know who
snipes.
she really.
She ain't
I
fix
don't
nobody
know if she
life.
really
She
fixed
ain't fix
nobody.
nobody life.
I don't
Evelyn's
know.
still out here acting up.
Well,
Steady
Evelyn, that
still
was a
with that
stunt.
man.
That was a
Remember the
stunt.
one with Frankie, Keisha
Nephew.
Cole's
Yup.
sister,
She a
nephew.
gutter snipe.
Remember the one with the
Brown
Braxtons?
gutter snipe.
But even T.D. Jakes tried with the Braxtons and couldn't fix it.
Baby,
So
if T.D. Jakes come on and he can't do nothing.
right. I
Fix
don't
my
know if
life
there's
with
any
God.
I
hope
don't
for
believe in
them.
Dr. Ken or Sherry.
I was just
They didn't
saying.
help nobody.
So needless to say, they are saving the show. I love seeing the family dynamic, and like
Yes.
it's real. It just feels real.
Yeah.
And we know reality TV ain't all real.
Yeah.
But
Lord.
That's real.
That's
You can't
real.
do
Like
that.
how these kids
No,
feel
what
about
they
their
be doing in
parents is
Huntsville is
real.
cray. That's some real stuff.
It's
Yes.
real.
They be getting over, yeah, they be
It's
doing some real
real.
stuff over there.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna fast forward to Love and Marriage Detroit.
Coming
the trailer
back.
just
Yay.
came out.
That's my favorite.
What up, Russ? If you watching,
That's
I
my
hope you
fave.
are. That's my homie.
Because Christina and Brandon, we knew y'all was going to get divorced.
So allegedly they're separate. So the trailer showed us that they're
Separated.
separated.
Yeah.
We knew their marriage had some challenges.
Nah, they knew they
That's
knew their
being
marriage was
polite.
done.
That's being polite.
Beyond challenges.
I mean, okay.
Nah.
No,
Don't
they
sugarcoat.
were very much giving Tisha and Marceau.
Yeah.
Except she ain't Tisha.
Exactly.
Okay.
She more so.
She a little more aggressive than Tisha.
Yes.
No, I
Yeah.
was done when he literally moved out the house though.
Literally.
And then was like, I'm just gonna get my own. I'm gonna stay in the other house.
Yeah, and then Russ had to
and
tell
didn't
him, call your wife.
Yeah, won't even call me or
Yeah.
like that's crazy behavior.
I'm excited for my messy king, Anthony. He's so messy.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
it. Me and Ramon
Oh
love Anthony.
God.
We cannot wait for him. His funny self to be back on this TV.
Okay.
I love me some
Not
Anthony.
Ramon like Anthony.
Oh, that's his favorite out of all the
Because
franchises.
he is messy.
He
is
loves
messy.
messy Anthony.
Messy boo.
He like, where my boy at? Where my boy? Like,
Okay.
He loves
He likes
Anthony.
Anthony.
Messy Anthony. And then Bravo is now full time cast member. Remember the light skinned guy who was cool?
Oh yeah.
Him and his wife are full-time cast members.
Because Russ and his wife just had another baby.
Yeah, so they probably wasn't filming that much.
No, they probably was filming.
Oh, no, they gotta film because he doing stuff.
Without
telling her.
Again.
Again.
I be trying to take up for you, bruh.
He never gonna learn.
Because I really know who you really are. But you making it real hard from some of these scenes.
No, dog. He don't take his wife nothing.
Listen, I love watching y'all. Y'all are a beautiful family.
And we got a new couple too coming. It's a new couple. It's a fourth couple now. So it's gonna be 4 couples.
Okay, 4 couples.
Well, no, 5 couples.
5 couples. And that's what we said. We felt like we needed more. It
was just 3 of them, and it was kind of dry.
It was too much.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, they needed more.
So they got 5 now.
So we're excited for Detroit. Stay tuned, y'all.
And Bell Collective coming back 2 weeks.
And Bell Collective. That's going to be so good.
Bell Collective and Love and Marriage DC. I think Detroit is perfect together.
And y'all, since a lot of pods are not really doing much for Detroit, we're going to make sure that maybe we'll do a couple of lives after the Detroit.
We're going to cover it.
Yeah, and we're going to be the ones to cover it.
We should do live.
Because it need more viewers.
And it deserves it because it's such a good show.
Yeah.
It is.
So we gonna do some stuff with that.
Yep.
Also, Mandy has a little plug for the last Carlos show that she's been watching. It's new. It's dealing with the family real estate.
Oh my God! It's called Family Empire. It's a Houston show.
Oh, we watched that episode.
I love this show. It's a new show. It's real estate. It's family. So you got different generations. They call it the G1s and the G2s of the different generations, and it's basically like. It's everything I love. Like I love real estate. They're in Houston. I think that's also fresh. Yeah. We don't have no shows based in Houston or like the South really, except for Atlanta. So I really love that they're in Houston. The family is it's good drama. It's typical drama that we talk about with families. Like, why are we hiring your husband to do something and he ain't doing it? Do we need a contract? He like, well, y'all not paying me enough. And they like, well, we looked at the comps of this job and we're paying you more than the comps.
Not you look at the comps. Yes. Somebody in HR on that screen.
No, they don't play. These women are real business women. Yes. They're real business women. Y'all need to. And then there's like sibling stuff where like there's a half sibling and it's always one.
Okay.
And she got this girlfriend named Caramel. Y'all need to get into it.
Okay.
And one of the storylines that I love so much. So imagine your sister. So like, let's say like I'm not gonna say us, okay, because this is some death involved. Let's just say a hypothetical, your half sister, her mom passed away, and the day of the funeral, the new girlfriend coming up kicking up mess because the ex-girlfriend called the family for condolences. On the day of the funeral, kicking up mess.
I'll watch it.
You need to get on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh,
so
baby.
y'all, if y'all haven't watched it,
you gotta watch.
We finna
That's
get
all
on.
I'm gonna say about it.
Carlos, you did your big one with that, but we still got some
so
chops
good.
for you coming. So that is the end of part 1.
We're
gonna get back to it.
All we got left is Carlos. We ain't got.
We got Carlos. Okay, so we're gonna do it real quick.
Yeah.
So the last thing that we got is Carlos, and of course, Braxton Family Values is back and stuff.
I didn't watch it. Couldn't watch.
Okay, so. Okay, yes.
I think we can cover the Braxtons a different episode, y'all.
Okay, we'll cover the Braxtons because it's still going. So we'll get y'all the next one.
Yeah, because I haven't watched the first one. I couldn't get through it.
Let y'all watch the first one. Anyway,
I couldn't get through it. I started and stopped on the plane. I couldn't.
The Braxtons, we will be covering the Braxton Family Values. So then we're going to just get to like Carlos, and I was going to do the Olympics, but we'll get back to that too. And
we'll do a sports segment.
We'll do a sports segment because we owe y'all a sports segment. Darren, we hear you. You like, where's the sports at?
Do a whole thing.
We hear you. We
don't
gonna get to sports.
Y'all see these clouds? They coming for us.
Yeah,
they coming.
We trying to hurry. So, all right. So the last part of our segment then for today will be just our views about the Carlos King podcast
and him,
and just in general of like these last couple of episodes. I don't want to call it a read, but like Carlos. What is going on, bro? Like, I literally would listen to his podcast
because he wasn't
every single week. I look forward to it.
I was crying for them episodes.
But I will say, I literally stopped when New Jersey came back.
Yeah,
because all of a sudden he brought Teresa on. Then he brought another person on to talk about Teresa versus Melissa. Then to keep saying that no one's going to outlive her, outlast her, and like it's literally got to a point
about
of just
Joe
bias
Gorga and his dead parents.
Yes.
That's what gets me about Carlos.
Go ahead and say it.
So Carlos goes on this whole rant about how his Joe Gorga's death, both of his parents are deceased. Talks about how they would be disappointed in him. He's not taking care of his sister. He never took care of his parents while they were alive. I mean, like, really going to the jugular.
And he's like, I know Teresa. I was around them.
And the parents didn't like him. And
no, you weren't. You were there for filming.
Low. He goes low in the name of a show.
I actually to that, and I don't even watch Jersey like that.
Sorry, y'all. It's dead.
No, don't flick it to me. Okay.
Bloopers.
We're back.
Right. I don't even watch Carlos like that, but I did listen to that episode. I mean, I'll listen to him, but I don't care about Jersey.
But it gets worse because he does it with Orange County and Tamara.
It's like,
and now he's on Alexis Bellino side.
Everybody that he likes
are unpopular.
Yes.
And it's cool to like somebody, but to talk about
it's
somebody
the pandering. It's the pandering.
Like, Carlos, that was really low. And there's an apology that needs to be had. And you keep saying that you don't have any issues with Melissa.
Yes, you do. You hate
but
her
like, how can you not? The way that you talk about, if you're talking about Teresa in such the positive light, you are literally saying very negative things about Joe. And I wouldn't say Melissa, about Joe. He is a human being. You weren't there when they was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and what he went through, like growing up into this family with Teresa. His parents lived with Teresa, but let's call it a spade a spade.
She was
her husband wasn't around. Joe was there for his kids and his family, and he was a family guy. If anything, Teresa needed the most help. So it made sense for her parents to be there, not because they didn't like him.
And Joe had a wife that handled business at home. She didn't need nobody.
She didn't need the assistance.
Sorry.
So let's stop this narrative.
No, they had three. They got three.
They both got 3.
Oh dang.
Yeah. No, she got 4. They got. It's not a big difference.
So
it's
not.
like
her kids are just bad.
Well, and if we go back to Melissa's very first season,
their
very first episode was at the christening, and they got into a
physical fight.
And that boy on his knees and was begging his
daddy, like. I think it's the situation.
I will never forget. You got a grown man begging his daddy to love him. Let me tell you why.
Let me tell you why. Italians, I feel like, are very old school, and I feel
they'll write you off.
And I think that once he left in Cliff, like he left the family and got. I think the whole family was mad that he found a woman that really wanted him and said, "No, baby, this our family." Because Teresa talks about how he was engaged twice before Melissa, and her brag is, we told him, the first one, she was like, the first one was his fault. They was just too young. The second one, we told him how they treated us at the bridal shower, and he broke up with her.
That's so crazy.
So I think
they've been able to control the narrative for all of his other girlfriends. And Melissa, they couldn't do it.
She was worth it.
And we ain't gonna keep going down the drain and talking about, because we've talked about this situation so much.
It's just hard not to talk about it.
It's getting worse and worse.
My issue with you is now your whole podcast
is about it.
It's a tree hugger podcast. And if anything, as a viewer or as someone who is, as you call it, a reporter. What do you call it?
Report the news. You're a journalist.
You're a journalist. You cannot be this biased.
He's Fox News for Housewives.
Yeah, but like you
pandering messages. He's Fox News for Housewives. And you want to know how I know? Because the podcast that he invited on to talk about Jersey was one of those podcasts that got outed for being on Teresa's literal payroll.
There you go.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
So Teresa
and
Jennifer Aiden got
we talked about it in our last one.
Season.
Yeah, for paying bloggers. And so the main bloggers that they paid was on Carlos' show last
week. So Carlos, I'm going to say it again. I don't know if you on Teresa's payroll. At this point,
that's what it feels.
At this point, it feel like you may be getting some money from her. The way that you are going so hard for your girl.
Teresa, Tamara,
and she can be your girl, and that is fine. And I mean, I get it. You also love, as you call it, the force multipliers, which are typically the villains. Of the show.
He likes the villains that overproduce shows.
We also understand that without a villain, the shows are not good.
Correct. But there's some type of villain.
But as a person who people go to look for perspective,
I like a lot of villains,
you have a responsibility
to
make sure.
That's what makes me sad. I was Tamara's biggest friend. I mean, fan. When she was, that's my opinion. Like all of that, I was her and Gretchen beefs. I love Gretchen though. When she stood 10 toes down that Brooks was bad and was right and was helping Brianna and I was 10 times. She's overproduced. once they fired her, she was like Dorinda.
She lost it.
She like, I need to figure out how to get back on this show.
She
I'm
lost
do
it.
anything. So this season, I'm going to feud with the girl I brought on. Next season, I'm going to feud with Shannon. I'm going to take her for Alexis. And then Carlos pissed me off. You going to interview Alexis Bellino and let John come in on this interview and then let her lie and pander and say, listen to this lie, y'all. She claims that John offered to pay her salary to not go on Orange County.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be on that show if you cared about your happiness and he really offered
when
that.
y'all break up, he gonna turn around
and sue you.
I hope. But here's the thing. If he really felt that way, then why is he going on Watch What Happens Live?
Thank you.
Why is he actually going on a podcast?
Every red carpet.
Like, clearly you want fame too, or else you wouldn't even be with Alexis. You would be with a normal, regular degular if that was the problem. So, John, we see through you. Carlos is getting to a point of, like, I'm such a fan.
I can't
but
be no more.
So
I can't listen to the content.
Because I cannot listen to your content. So if you hear us, can you get back to the places where you at least showed two sides in every episode?
But also it makes me feel weird because he never had this energy about Melody.
Nope.
He never has this energy about the people on his shows. He never is 10 toes down behind any of them. He throw everybody under the bus when he can, when it sound good.
He literally had Sonny and
on
Moses
the podcast
at the live podcast.
Even Melody
that was so messy.
And even Melody was like, "Hold up, nah,
I didn't know this was happening."
Like so,
right.
It's
Let
like,
me be clear.
And he's buying into it. He's trying to recreate these moments. Like I told y'all,
Housewife
when
moments,
he
though.
saw Sweet Tea and Quad situation on Made to Messy, he said, "How can I replicate? Let me go get Sonny on this show." Like, why would you do like?
She worked for you. She
that makes you look bad as a boss.
On this show.
Because she shouldn't have been able to cross those boundaries
at all.
That makes
at your own company, bro.
Your own
like,
production
what are
company.
we talking
be
about?
Celebrated for it.
Yep.
Like,
and
that's
get a
insane.
spot on the show and get paid to be on this show.
Yeah, no. Do you know that legally,
I would sue.
she got a right to sue?
Yeah. Emotional distress, damages.
Like,
couldn't sleep, couldn't
the
eat.
fact that the girl wasn't suspended, or was it like she completely crossed the boundary?
Yeah.
And that's ethics. Like, your word, like he even talks about this, your word, how you do business and ethics is everything in that industry.
Yeah.
Like, you ruined yourself. You will never get another producing job after
Ever.
this.
Well, that's why she had
So
to.
I hope this works out for
She had
you.
to crash out to be on the show.
Yeah, I hope this works out for you,
She
sis.
has
I
to.
really do.
She won't be on next season. So it's going to go to the wayside.
Ain't no way she can.
It's going to go to the wayside. She won't be on next season.
Like, we can't continue this.
No.
But we say all that to say, Carlos, like I said,
Hear us and hear us.
please.
Stop pandering to these white folk.
Ooh.
That's what it really go down to me.
It ain't even just white folks, because even with his interview with Tamar and then her interview with her,
Oh,
her white man.
yeah. But see, a white man involved. I'm just saying.
But I'm going to say it
people
again.
don't even
I
know
think
what a
the
white
real
man.
problem is when he first did this podcast, he was really good.
He was a niche.
If he had a very strong opinion, he brought on someone who had an opposite
Different opinion. Yeah, they used to have a discourse.
And I want you to do that again. If there's nothing wrong with you being a diehard Teresa fan, but it's getting to a place that I need you when you talking about T. Get somebody else who disagree. So then that way I can listen.
So it's not one-sided.
Appease
like
both audiences.
So he interviewed Baby Mama Erica, Scrappy,
and Diamond.
Yep. And
Mama D.
And Bambi.
Yep.
And Mama D. He interviewed everybody
all sides.
involved.
He doesn't do that with no. But I think I'm telling y'all these. He does this. It's almost like a grifter thing. It's almost like a. I'm gonna be on your side, Teresa, always, because I need that access. Or I need
it's
you,
something she doing for him.
I'm telling you,
because I just don't understand.
Because the live show, he did Teddy and Tamara. He did Teresa on his live show.
And Teddy never gave anything ever when she was on the OC.
So this
he
whole
did that out of formality for you
know.
know.
He did that out of pandering. I'm telling you, he's a panderer.
Okay. So we're gonna say this, Carlos. Again, I'm still a fan. I just need you when you have really strong opinions
Even if you don't have strong
to make sure that you have someone to. Kind of like you did with the Kardashians, right? Like you had a balancing
that was
act.
so good.
And so I need you to do that for Jersey, period.
Because
you can't do Jersey by yourself.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I need you to have Jersey with somebody else.
I almost wasn't going to listen to the 2T's pod cover Orange County because I'm like, Teddy's not gonna be objective. So what she did, they brought Alexia on, and Alexia be going off about
because they know
Tamara,
they needed it,
and she be going off about, and they hung with Alexis, and she's like, this not the Alexis I was around. This is very desperate, and she's not giving. Like she be going in.
Yeah,
so you have to have people that have difference of opinion,
because that's what makes it good. That's what makes this good. We all don't agree with each other.
They don't like Toya. I know that. That's my girl.
I dislike Toya.
They don't dislike, but they not her biggest fan.
I don't dislike her. I just don't like her answers. But I love it.
A lot of the people I love, y'all hate.
Agreed.
So I love that. But see, this is the thing that makes it funny to me. I'm known for liking villains. So if I don't like you and you a villain, that means you're
a terrible villain.
You a bad villain.
You're a terrible villain.
But no, we're gonna end this by saying, first of all, we're celebrating our first year.
Yep.
So first year of Black Girls Love Reality 2 podcast. The retreat has been amazing. We have done so much stuff together.
Beach,
just like
dinner
and stuff. We'll make sure we do some highlights, of course.
I got a little vlog footage. I didn't do much today because we was in the sauna.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, we do got a picture of it. Yeah.
So we'll show y'all some highlights. But it's been an amazing trip. Yeah. Thank y'all for listening. 1 full year of the podcast,
and we're gonna be more consistent.
Yes,
we're gonna hold ourselves accountable to being more consistent.
Our spouses
are mad,
and significant others.
They're mad at us.
They're holding us accountable.
They are really mad at us.
And y'all hold us accountable too. Like I know y'all been like in our Instagram, like where are y'all at? And we may have a few more surprises. I got some other ideas that I think we're going to do this year. Yeah. So bigger, better, and greater for year 2, ladies. Yes. I probably should have had something for us to cheers to.
And I'm going to make them watch more shows because they need to watch Dubai because I can finally talk about Lisa Milan.
Yes, that's our homework. Homework is we are watching Real Houses of Dubai. And we want to hear from y'all. Like, there's also some other shows.
I would love to talk about Love Island.
Yeah, some competition shows.
Yeah, like I would love. So just let us know.
We'll sprinkle.
Y'all watch Big Brother?
I do not.
Now. Girl, for the first time.
That realtor chick.
Yeah. Okay. Girl. So needless to say, we got some other shows. But this has been amazing, y'all. Yeah. And until y'all hear us again in the next 2 weeks,
we love y'all.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for riding with us.
We're back.
And we'll see y'all later.
Your 2 starts now.
Bye, y'all. To the pool.